What's up, everybody? Good afternoon. Hope you guys are doing well. Training camp is just about to get underway, and we've already got a few items of news from the team. Thought I'd go over. I believe the team's actually coming onto the field in about an hour from the time of this upload, but we do have some information already about how the team is going to look initially in the camp. So let's go over this real quick. The big item, the thing that everyone's talking about right now, the thing that everyone's asking about is this right here on screen from Adam Schefter and many other sources. Devin Witherspoon, the number 5 overall pick in April's draft, not expected on the field for the start of training camp. Neither side has been able to reach a contract agreement, or excuse me, both sides, I guess would be the right way to phrase that. He is the only player that was drafted in the 2023 NFL draft to not yet sign a contract. So this is actually at least a little bit significant. It would be one thing if there were like 20 or 25 players who hadn't signed yet. He is the only player of 259 players to not sign yet. Now, understand what this is about. Understand what this is about. It's not about the size of the contract. It's not about the length of the contract. That stuff is determined by the NFL. There is nothing that either side can do to change the value or the length of the contract. This is just about how much money Witherspoon gets up front in his signing bonus versus how much he gets at future dates. So this has to do with basically, it's not fine print, but it's a relatively small thing that will likely be worked out in the next couple of days. However, for a guy like this, for a guy we're expecting to do big things for us as a rookie, for a guy we're expecting to be a big time contributor for us in 2023, it's kind of a big deal to miss any kind of training camp at all. So this is not a great start, admittedly. I'm not concerned. This is not something that there's going to be some kind of long-term holdout over. He's not going to miss regular season games over this, I don't think. I don't believe anybody in the world is that petty. I don't believe anybody in the world is capable of actually missing out on millions of dollars because they don't like they want to get paid now versus getting paid slightly later. So I'm not worried about that side of things. I believe that if we wait a couple days, we'll probably get some much better news concerning this contract. So I'm not really worried about it, but it is not good for him to be missing camp. So Brady Henderson kind of goes a little further into this, what I was just talking about how it's not the size, it's not the length, it's just how much is paid now versus later. The Seahawks, like many teams, defer chunks of bigger bonuses into the future. And if you scroll down a little bit, some of the details of the players that went ahead of Witherspoon are laid out here. The 3 quarterbacks who went ahead of Witherspoon. So Stroud, Young, and Anthony Richardson got 100% of their bonuses paid up front. So they already got their full signing bonus. Those guys are quarterbacks. Those guys are going to get pretty much all their bonus money up front. Will Anderson, who was the 3rd pick, got 85% up front. So Devin Witherspoon's not a quarterback, and he's not Will Anderson. I'm sorry, but he's just not. I like him a lot. I think he's going to be good for this team as long as we use him right, but he's not those guys. He shouldn't be getting as much upfront money as those 4 guys do for very obvious reasons. He's not as valuable as a quarterback, and he's not Will Anderson Jr. So I'm assuming the number that they're going to reach is going to be a little bit lower than that. And obviously, it doesn't really make any kind of a difference to us as a team, as fans. This is more than anything, I guess you could say, to protect us against a Malik McDowell type situation. So if a player goes out there and plays for like a year and then does something really ridiculous to ruin their career and they don't get to play for you anymore, or in the case of Malik McDowell, he plays not at all, then you're protected a little bit against something like that if you don't give him the full signing bonus up front. But that is an extreme circumstance. I can't imagine this is going to hold things up too much longer. So that's the big news right now. That's the stuff that everybody's really thinking about and talking about. I'm not worried about it. It's not good for him to be missing training camp, like I said, but it is what it is. I think things will get taken care of sometime in the next few days. The other main news from training camp so far would be 6 players have gone on the physically unable to perform list. We have safety Jamal Adams, linebacker Jordan Brooks, tight end Noah Fant, nose tackle Austin Falou, nose tackle Brian Monet, and cornerback Tariq Woolen. So I think Brooks and Monet, we all kind of assumed were probably going to start on the PUP. Woolen could have gone one way or the other. He's gone this way. Adams, I think a lot of people thought was at this. There was some optimism earlier in the offseason, but at this point, I think this is relatively expected. Noah Fant is kind of out of left field for me. And Faolu, I mean, I wasn't really thinking about him either way, but those are your 6 guys. Now, understand that a player can start the offseason on the PUP and not miss games. It's not until the season actually starts that you have to commit to the PUP. Right now, they're just on the PUP until they're not on the PUP. So they can come off at pretty much any time and start practicing and playing, no problem. If these guys are still physically unable to perform when the regular season starts, then they actually might have to commit to the PUP list for, I think it's 3 games now. It used to be 6, but I think it's 3 now. But at a certain point, obviously, you have to just go on IR. So I'm not really too concerned about Adams, Fant, Woolen, or I guess Faolu missing games, but Monet and Brooks definitely could. In fact, I expect them to miss at least some games at this point. And it's worth keeping an eye on the Jamal Adams rehab because, I mean, the way some people are talking about it, it's like we don't know. The way it shouldn't be like this when you really think about it. It shouldn't be. Given the fact that he got hurt almost a full calendar year ago, it's kind of weird that this is lingering on, but it looks like it is. So that's it for the PUP list. We also had Jonah Tavai on the non-football injury list. So he's currently out. I don't know what's going on there. He obviously participated in the rookie mini camps. So I don't think it could have been anything from before the draft or early, right after the draft. But no indication that I've seen that it's serious. And that's where we're starting right now. So Witherspoon still waiting to get his contract taken care of. And we've got 7 players currently not physically able to go. Most of them likely to be ready by the time the actual games start. But for some of these guys, they need those training camp reps. Not all of them. Some of these guys are veterans. We know what they can do. But some of them definitely could use it. And the only other thing of note is that we picked up a defensive back, Chris Steele. I believe he's been on this team before. I don't know if he's ever really played. But maybe this has to do with the Witherspoon thing. Maybe once we get Witherspoon in here, Steele will be on the way out. And yeah, that's looks like what we're dealing with right now. So I'll see you guys later. Go Hawks. Those are your early training camp updates. Let me know what you guys think down below. See you guys soon.